middle of the second decade of the 21st century, we're literally seeing the development of a new map of global energy. We're seeing it in terms of supply with shale gas, tight oil in North America, with the discovery of major new gas resources off of East Africa, the Eastern Mediterranean, the potential of very significant resources from the Russian Arctic. But this growth in new supply is being matched by a major shift in demand away from the traditional industrial countries to the fast growth, the emerging markets of primarily of Asia. And that's where virtually all of the demand growth will be in the next decades in the 21st century. And so really unfolding in front of our eyes is a new map of global energy. Development of tight oil and shale gas is beginning to have major economic impacts. It's been a big source of job creation in the United States. It's also making the United States more competitive in terms of energy intensive manufacturing. And it's starting to tilt the field in terms of Europe, where the loss of competitiveness is something that is now beginning to preoccupy European industry as they look at the differences in energy costs. Will continue to be an important resource. It's something that's important in the Russian energy mix, and Russia has a strong nuclear industry, but it's not going to be a uniform picture. Very much will depend upon the policy decisions of individual governments. Climate change, you do see the impact of what happens in individual countries, whether it's government promotion of renewables, for instance, wind power, to shift out away from coal production, or greater use of natural gas to generate electricity. And we've seen the impact of that in the United States, where it has brought down U.S. CO2 emissions back to the levels of the early 1990s. So growth in natural gas, a growing share of natural gas in the overall energy mix will also be an important step in terms of climate change policy. New frontiers in world oil. You look at Brazil, which not so many years ago, the general thought was that Brazil had no oil. It's now possible that by the beginning of the next decade, Brazil could be producing twice as much oil as Venezuela. North America, U.S. oil production is up 43% since 2008. And of course, there are the new frontiers like the Arctic, which is very important for the future of Russian oil. And then you have countries that have been held back, like Iraq, which have a lot of potential and can start to also begin to grow its share of the world market. So there are new supplies coming on, but we have to remember at the same time that these new supplies are coming on, world demand is growing, and it's growing in regions of the world like Asia. So the challenge is still going to meet growing demand of the world, but we're going to see new supplies, new geographies being a very critical part of this equation.